So I did a thing the other day and spent some money. Got some new 13x7 Revolution wheels. They're all nice and shiny. So the plan for these is I need to use these for rallying because the front ones, the HA wheels are too wide for the arches that I have on the car, and the tyres are kind of hitting the spring just a little bit, but not too bad. You could probably get away with them. So I'm going to run 7s for rallying. It's going to be easier for carrying a spare, and then use the 8s that I have for sprints and hill climbs. So these ones are going to go straight up to Jacob to get powder coated black to go with the rest of the car. Hopefully going to get those up to him this Saturday, the 23rd, just before Christmas, and get at least one pair back start of January if possible. Add this sticker to the door. New addition to the door of all the stuff I use or have bought from. So this is how far out the wheel on an 8J goes from the arch. The arch isn't really helping because it's fiberglass, so it kind of goes back in when it cures fully. And that is where the 7J wheels will be sitting. Still looks to be a little bit outside the arch, but the I can't let it all the way down. Just don't want it to slip off the blocks. I forgot to say it when the wheel was on the car, but the main area will be gaining space is actually the distance between the rim and the spring of the strut. Because with the 8Js there's a 10mm spacer on them to space it out so that the tyre doesn't hit the spring or the spring seat. With the 7Js you have that extra space that the 10mm spacer can come off, and it'll just pull the wheel in that little bit more. There doesn't seem to be a massive difference, even though the ETs are the same. They're both ET0 wheels. We should be gaining a half an inch on the outside, and I think not being able to let it down all the way doesn't show how far it'll really be sitting in. Plus, once the camber and everything is set up as it should be, hopefully it'll all be within the arch. Okay, so it started raining, typical of Ireland obviously, but just tidying up a few wires in the car, and since the last time I've got all the interior plumbing for the fire extinguisher finished. So there's a nozzle in the passenger footwell and in the driver footwell, and they're done, and with one fitting going out to the engine bay. I have to finish that off, but probably won't be today, depends if the rain stops. Might be able to just push it back into the shed and do it then. Also got the pull cable for the fire extinguisher. That's done. I have a bit of tidying up to do, but a lot of stuff in here that doesn't need to be. Hopefully we'll get all the wiring cleaned up, and from there then we'll be able to just start getting rid of stuff out of the car. I have to drill the holes for the harness eyelets, for the passenger side seat and fit that, so I can get the belts on the passenger side in. The rails that I have are now obsolete, so I need to get new, might just need to get new L's, but definitely need to get new L's, and the uprights that I have might still be okay. It just depends if I can get them separately or not. So the chairs or the seats will have to come out again anyway, but I want to have everything in its sort of final positions belt wise so that I can get this car logged and get it up to Donegal for suspension set. I've just finished off putting in all of the nozzles for the fire extinguisher into the engine bay. So there's 4, and they are very awkward when you have everything in the car already. You're trying to work around the radiator, oil cooler, bits of the exhaust and everything to make it all fit. So as you can see, I brought it out here, up along the bulkhead to the tower where that's aiming at the exhaust, and then down around under the oil catch tank. Again, another one at the exhaust, and this is where it got, all that was easy enough. Then I had to go down around by the radiator, bring it all in under there, trying to work around all these corners just in case this top panel ever has to come out. Didn't want them in the way. One pointing at the fuel line and the other one pointing at the top of the fuel rail. I also got the grill in place. It's still a bit wobbly, but once I put the bumper in, I'll be able to tie it into that and make it a bit stiffer. I had to make this bracket here because the old piece, which would have been on this side of the radiator to hold that out, got taken out, and got the rear bumper on. So slowly it's starting to all get finished. Hopefully it will be done by the end of Christmas. Yeah, there wasn't a lot of information around for putting the fire extinguishers in, at least videos. There are a lot of people who explain how to do it, but not actually show the process, and I understand why, because it's not really something that can be shown on camera very easily. You're working in a lot of tight corners. It's a lot of measuring and kind of cutting little bits off and filing and just trying to get every bend so that it's out of the way, not going to get hit by anything else. It's probably not the most exciting job in the world, but even there's very few pictures online of where you can see the nozzles in the engine bay. You have to go looking for them, and anyone who's been building cars for a long time obviously has their own ways of doing it, and will probably hide the lines a lot better than what I did. Hopefully everything is okay. We'll pass scrutiny for the rallies. It all seems pretty sturdy. It's not just gonna be take one little knock and come loose or anything like that. I gave it a good jiggle when I was putting them in, so hopefully everything will be okay.